Hello, my name is Jackie Riggs, and this is my EDUC 526 final video from the Capstone project. My educational journey began several years ago, but I did not realize that it was leading me to teaching until approximately 7 years ago. I entered college at Cal Poly Pomona as a freshman studying architecture. After one quick year of studying architecture, I realized that my path in life was not fulfilling my passion in life. I soon came to realize that my true passion in life was teaching. I looked back at my life and remembered the times I used to pretend to play school with my younger sisters, help the girls on my softball team with their homework at practice, and the many children I have tutored and still continue to tutor today. These were just some of the memories which helped convince me to follow my heart to the major that was calling my name. After 1 year at Cal Poly Pomona, I decided to change my major to liberal studies and pursue a career in teaching. My passion for teaching may have begun as a fun game that I played with my younger sisters and cousins, but it has continued to flourish over the years into what it is today. The entire time I was at Cal Poly, I couldn't wait to graduate and finally get my credentials so I could actually work as a teacher. I debated where to go for weeks and finally narrowed it down to Chapman and Azusa Pacific University. I knew I wanted to become a faith-based teacher using the quickest and least expensive route to get started with my career. I talked to several friends to see if I could make the best decision. I heard great things about both programs, but when I came across the Digital Teaching and Learning program at APU, I knew it was the one for me. It would be so perfect to finish my credentials and master's in less than 2 years without having to write a daunting thesis. I loved that I could continue working at my job during the day and go to class at night. Although the end result is what attracted me to APU, I quickly learned that the people here are what makes this school so amazing. I formed great friendships with the people in my classes as well as our professors. I felt as though the professors truly cared about our success and were willing to help us in any possible way. The past year in the master's program has been far from easy due to circumstances at home, but I have felt so much love and support from those around me that I knew I would be able to complete it all as planned. My mother recently passed away from a very rare form of thyroid cancer. The Lord truly blessed me with the people in my life that were here to support me, including professors, classmates, colleagues, family, and friends. My mother is someone who encouraged me to follow my dreams and make an impact on the people around me. She has inspired me to be the teacher I am because of the love she had for the students she worked with as an instructional aide. Her love and passion for the children can now shine through me as I teach and make an everlasting impact on my own students. In EDUC 526, we completed an action research study report. My study lasted approximately 4 weeks, but has made a lasting impact. I had originally planned on completing my action research study report on classroom management because it is a very difficult thing to master as a new teacher. However, I had discovered an app that worked wonders with my students, and at the time of this assignment, I felt that it wasn't something that would result in a major change again. Instead, I focused on eating healthier and making it a habit to work out regularly. In today's world of takeout and drive-thrus, it is extremely difficult to balance a busy personal and professional schedule with eating healthy and staying active. I knew I needed to figure it out, though, in order to be in shape for my upcoming wedding. For this action research, I recorded information about my habits and ways to improve them. I set a goal of eating healthier home-cooked food 4 to 5 times per week while working out 3 to 4 times per week in order to increase my energy level and be in shape. In order to improve my habits, I recorded the number of times I went to the gym as well as the food I was eating throughout the day. I used the calorie counter app on my iPhone in order to record the food I was eating. This app also allowed me to input exercises I did during the day to show me how many calories and nutrients I was eating. Overall, this app made me decrease the number of calories I was taking in and prevented me from snacking too much because I would have to log it into my app. I also realized that I should cut my portion sizes down and eat more vegetables. Many of the days showed that I was eating too much sugar and sodium, which made me also evaluate the types of food I was choosing to eat each day. Additionally, I found that I was able to attain my goal of eating at home and working out more often because I was focused on planning it into my schedule. The few weeks that I did this study were difficult weeks due to celebrations for holidays and birthdays, but I was able to plan the days I was eating out and eating at home. This study also made me more aware of the types of foods I was eating so I could make smarter choices when I was eating out. Overall, this study will make a lasting impact on my eating habits and exercise habits. I will continue to make conscious decisions about my food and making time to take care of my health by working out regularly. For this course, I created a 15-lesson unit plan that lasts approximately 3 to 4 weeks and focuses on multiplication and division. Each of the lessons included in this unit are aligned with California standards, including the mathematics content standards and Common Core standards. Additionally, some lessons are aligned with the English language arts, visual arts, and music content standards. The lessons that incorporate technology are also aligned to teaching to the ISTE technology standards, which are important for our students to learn from a young age. This unit is originally designed for use in a second grade classroom, but due to the realignment of the Common Core standards, the activities and projects in this unit may be used beyond a second grade classroom. I decided to focus my project on multiplication and division because as I taught second graders this year, I realized it was a difficult concept for them to grasp. As a result, I put a lot of thought into designing lessons and activities that appeal to second grade students of various learning styles and multiple intelligences. As we had learned in EDUC 522, we could make our instruction and lessons fit various student needs because each of them is unique in their own way. I focused on using technology that we have learned about at APU in order to engage students and ultimately have them learn a foundation of multiplication and division. Many of the activities are hands-on and keep students engaged in learning. Each lesson also includes modifications or accommodations for students of special populations, including special needs, English learners, and advanced students. The main goals of this unit are to have students understand the fundamental purposes and processes of multiplication and division in order to prepare them for math in the future, which builds on their primary years in math. The lessons begin at a very basic lesson with an introduction to multiplication. In order to get students engaged in many of the lessons, there are educational videos included to show students a visual of what multiplication is. These videos were found on Khan Academy, Discovery Education, and YouTube. Many of the lessons also include flip charts, which are meant to be used with the Active Inspire software for interactive smartboards. Some of the flip charts were created specifically for this unit, and others were edited from the flip charts posted on the Promethean website by teachers from around the country. Each of the flip charts is interactive and allows students to manipulate the objects on the screen or respond to problems using their student response systems to vote for the correct answers. One main concept that is used throughout this unit is the concept of equal groups. Multiplication and division both depend on having equal groups. Some lessons include worksheets for students to practice the skills they have learned in the lessons, but many of them are interactive and hands-on. Included in this unit are a few art projects, which use the concepts of multiplication and division. The first project is one that focuses on creating an array with figures inspired by the artist Keith Haring. This project reinforces what students learn about arrays during the lesson and allows them to see a connection with math and learn more about artistic techniques. The other art project requires students to use an everyday object and create a larger drawing of it by measuring the object and multiplying it by a given number. Another lesson requires students to create a design to model multiplication and label it to show the different ways multiplication can be written. Students continue to get creative in a skip counting project where they are required to create their very own video with a song or rhyme for skip counting by 2s, 5s, and 10s. This activity requires them to not only work as a group, but to use technology in a creative way. Students will also learn how to play various math games, which can be used as a review and way for them to practice their skills. These games include card games, games on the internet such as multiplication.com or shepherdsoftware.com, as well as iPad apps that are great for learning. For both multiplication and division, students will be required to practice the strategies they have learned to solve various story problems. This application shows how much a student has learned about applying the strategies he or she has learned. I have also included cognitively guided instruction, or CGI math problems, to encourage students to problem solve using what they have learned in class. English language arts standards have been addressed through a few activities for students. First off, students are required to write an entry in a math journal to explain what a problem means in words. This will show students true understanding of the concept. One standard required for second grade students is that they learn how to write a friendly letter. Students in their multiplication section of this unit will be required to write a friendly letter to explain how multiplication works. They must also explain the strategies and how to solve a problem. In the final lesson, students will use what they have learned in a few different ways. First off, they will solve a multi-step CGI problem that involves multiplication and division. Then they will work in a small group of 4 to 5 students to create a multiplication and division machine. This machine must have an input and output of something to show how it multiplies and divides. This project will conclude with the students using their best speaking skills to record a commercial for their machine. Overall, students will be required to learn and apply each strategy they have learned in the 15 lessons for multiplication and division to show that they have mastered the math skills of multiplying and dividing, that they are ready for future math lessons. Overall, this unit creates a fun and interactive way for students to learn and master multiplication and division. With a little creativity, you can integrate technology to make math more engaging for your students. That's all for me. I hope you can incorporate some of my ideas into your classroom today.